Good morning. This class is for class 12th, and as you know, we are studying determinants. And in determinants, today we will study properties of determinants and special property that is called invariance property of determinants. And I hope you are doing your work in time and following up with the lectures that are being provided to you here. So in determinants, see properties of determinants. I have already told you. Suppose we have a determinant here, this one say delta, some number like 1 2 3 2 1 5 7 2 1. Okay, so this is column 1, this is column 2, column 3. So we can do like this: c1, that is column 1, is equal to c1 plus any number twice c2 plus thrice c3. This could be lambda mu. Any real numbers can be added to the second column and third column, and add it then again to the first column, right? Similarly, we can do the same operation with row. The important point is that the value of the determinant does not change. The value of the determinant remains the same if you do such operation. This is called property of invariance. Okay, so we are looking at the property of invariance, where the value of determinant does not change if you perform such a operation. And I have already given you example. This kind of operation really helps you. So when you are trying to evaluate a determinant, the most important part is you should get as many zeros as possible, because the zeros helps us to evaluate the determinant easily. For example, you know this. Suppose I write here 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So if you add to C2, these if you look at C2, it is 14, and if you add, this is row 1. Okay, let me do row operations here. This is row 1, this is row 2, and this is row 3. Okay, so in this row 2, if I do like this: row 2 is equal to, or row 2 times 2, or row 2 is transformed to minus half of row 1 plus row 3. Okay, look at this. If I add the 13 plus 14 is 28, divided by 2 is 14, 14 minus 14 is 0, 16 plus 18 is 34, 34 divided by 2 is 17, 17 minus 17 is 0, 19 plus 21 is 40, 40 divided by 2 is 20, 20 minus 20 is 0. You will get 0 0 0 here in the next step. Therefore the value of this determinant is 0. Without evaluating, we have found the value. So that is the use of property of invariance. The most important one is called property of invariance. Okay, so based on this, we'll do one example from your we'll do a question from your exercise. This is question number 12. It says evaluate using properties. So at, see, expansion of the determinant is done last, so we need to create as many zeros as possible in the determinant. So the question is a square b into c, and here ac plus c square, and here it is a square plus ab b square ac, and ab b square plus bc c square. We need to find, or we need to prove that this is equal to 4 a square b square c square. Okay, so we need to prove that this is equal to 4 times, okay, a square b square and c square. Now to solve this, you have to understand one thing, and that is what operations can we perform. You see clearly that here and a is common in column 1, b is common in column 2, and c is common in column 3. Therefore we can do that operation taking, so that is very, and this you are getting the hint from here also. ABC is outside, so taking a common from C1, B common from C2, and here I am writing on the top C common from, what is this, C3. Okay, once you do this, what will happen? A, B, C will come out of the determinant, and the new determinant will be a plus b and b. Here C, B and B plus C. Here C is common out. A plus C. This is C A and this is C. Now once you get this, the next step you have to again evaluate what can be done. So in the next step, see if I add this is column 1. If I add to column 1, column 2 and column 3, I'll get a plus c, a plus c. So twice a plus c because we wanted 4 outside. So I am doing c1 column 1 is transformed to c1 plus c2 plus c3. I am adding all the 3 to c1. So what is the change now? You will get 2a plus 2c. Here what will you get? 2a plus 2b, and here 2b plus 2c, and here it is remaining the same. Column 2 and column 3 no change. C, B, B plus C, A plus C, A, C. Now 2 can be taken common. So in the next step I am taking 2 common. So I am writing that step here only. ABC is already outside. Remember, ABC is already outside. So the next operation, taking 2 common. What is the next operation? Taking 2 common, okay, from C1. So now I will get 2 ABC, okay, and here it will be A plus C, here it is A plus B, here it is B plus C, here it is C, B, B plus C, here it is A plus C, here it is A, and here it is C. So now you look at this very carefully, and what can be done? What can be the next step? We need to create as many zeros as possible. So now we can do something like this. See, if I subtract these two from this one, will I get 0? Yes. What else can be done? So this is our row 1, this is our row 2, and this is our row 3. Okay. So what can be done? What can be done so that you get 2 zeros quickly here? See, if I subtract C1 from C2, okay, okay, let's do C1 turns to C1 minus C2. C1 is transformed to C1 minus C2. What I will get? 2ABC, and here I will get C1. This minus this, so C is gone, B is gone, and here it is 0. See, A 0, very good. C, B, B plus C, A plus C, A, C. Now what we can do is, we can again do this row 1 and row 2 transformation. So I can write row 2 is equal to row 2 minus row 1. So we are doing again one transformation here. Row 2 is equal to row 2 minus row 1. And then see what is happening. 2 ABC is already outside. This is transformed. A minus A is 0, B minus C, and A minus A minus C. This is what we are getting, and this remains same. B plus C, C, and this is A, C, A plus C. Now just expand along the first column. What you will get, because there are 2 zeros there. This is the most important step. You got 2 zeros, so 2 ABC is outside. And now expanding along which one? C1. Okay. What you will get? Expanding along C1, you will get A is outside, B minus C multiplied by C, and minus plus C multiplied by B plus C. So you get 2 ABC, A into B, AB minus AC, right? This one, what I have written, A into this, A was already outside here, okay, and this again is A is completely outside. So here you have to write A is completely outside, and now multiply B into C minus C square plus C into B plus C square. Okay, now see what is happening. C square gone, 2BC we are getting, so 2ABC multiply by 2BC into A, 2ABC again. So what we are getting? 4A square B square C square, which is the required result. So this is how you prove the any question on determinant. So you should go through this question one more time to understand. This is very important question, and based on this we will be solving a lot of other questions. Okay. So I'll quickly tell you what is the meaning of multiplication of two determinants. Just like multiplication of two matrices, we have multiplication of two determinants, and this you can study in detail. But right now with a simple example, suppose we have delta equal to A1 B1 C1, delta A2 B2 C2, A3 B3 C3. Okay, and another one say delta dash or delta anything, delta 1, okay, is equal to capital A1, capital B1, capital C1, capital A2, capital B2, capital C2, capital A3, capital B3, B3, capital C3. Now you need to multiply delta and delta 1. So the answer will be something like this. You can do like this: first row multiply by first column, just like that. So A1 A1, B1 A2, right? There are two ways. So first row multiplied by first column, that will give you the first element. So what is that first element that you will get? Here I am writing. We can also take the transpose and then multiply. That is, there are two ways. First of all, let's do the first one. First row multiply the first column. We get A1 A1. Okay, and then this one will be plus B1 A2 plus C1 A3, something like this. Okay, you can also take the transpose of this, because in delta transpose is same as delta in transformation, right? So we can also write delta as, this is very important, delta is equal to delta transpose. So instead of writing A1 B1 C1, I could have written A1 B1 C1, A2 B2 C A C1, A2 B2 C2, A3 B3 C3, something like this. Okay, and then we can write like this: A1 into A1, A2 into A2, and A3 into A3, B1 into B1, B2 into B2, B3 into B3, and so on. So what you will get here is, the first element that you will write is A1 into A1, A2 into A2, A3 into A3, like that. So based on this, we have another question, which is question number 13. Remember, if these are cofactors, then delta is also equal to A1 A1 plus A2 A2 plus A3 A3. This is also equal to delta. So now if you multiply delta and delta 1, because delta and delta dash are same, so if you multiply delta and delta 1, now we come to question number 13. So if you multiply delta and delta 1, you will get determinant value in the multiplication 3 times, something like this. So you should try this question. We'll discuss in the next class also. So if you just multiply delta and delta 1, okay, what you will get is, you will get delta here 0 0 0 delta 0 and 0 0 delta. Now you can take delta common from here, delta common from here, delta common from here. So you will get delta 1 is equal to delta q into 1. 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 is 1. Identity matrix, if you take the determinant, it is 1. So here from here you can write delta 1 is equal to delta square. This is the question in 13. You should try that, and we'll discuss this in detail, okay, in the next class. So I'm sure you will be able to complete 4.2 and be regular with your work, and see you in the next class.